And then if it's like super murdery, mystery, I can't do it.
If it's super murdery and mystery,
I know
I'm
you
like,
love it.
Yes.
Which is why I think this is going to be great. And we're recording.
Oh.
Yeah, this is it, Carla. I'm Alex.
I'm Carla.
We're starting a podcast.
We're so excited.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of
Flutters.
cellular stuff happening.
Okay, so we both like books.
We do, yeah.
We met through mutual friends, and we've been part of the same book club for, is it over 10 years?
It's close to 13 or 14,
I think you're right. I've always thought it's interesting. I'm just going to dive into random topics here.
Do it.
Every book club has a different way of picking books.
Do they?
They do. So some book clubs are really intense. Maybe intense is not the right word. I'm already alienating people, possibly.
Get over it.
But they'll pick out their books for the year.
Oh.
Or they'll have categories for each month. February has to be romancy, and summer books have to be summary. Oh. Which, I think usually the person in charge of picking the book for ours tries to, for Halloween, for example, we might pick, I remember Salem's Lot was an October pick because it was kind of spooky.
We read Salem's Lot?
We did. It's the only spooky book from that author whose name I'm forgetting, who's very popular. Stephen King. So Stephen King, Salem's Lot. It's the only book from his that I've read aside from the Dark Tower series.
It's true. We did read that. You're right. Okay.
But so some book clubs will make the person pick a book within a genre, which I feel like I like how our book club does it, but it's very loosey-goosey.
I love loosey-goosey.
Yeah.
I feel like that makes it... It's so welcoming to anybody that wants to try to join, which not a lot of people have stuck around. But
no, aside from the core group, new people haven't,
I feel like it's very welcoming to just have someone come in and just pick whatever they want to read. It's whatever floats your boat. We'll go along with you. We won't like it.
We might not like it.
But we'll read it. I'm really bad at reading the book club books. And sometimes I'll read... Oh, I'm bad. I'm so bad. Sometimes I won't read books until a year later.
I'm bad at... So one thing I like about our book club is that it has made me read books outside of genres that I normally wouldn't. Mm-hmm. But I also know my limitations on what I like reading. So for example, this month's book club.
Oh, yeah.
I did not read because I just know it's not my cup of tea.
So do you read what they're about before you decide, oh, I don't?
See, I do. I'll look through it. I'll read the description on Amazon or whatever. And then if it's super murdery, mystery, I can't do it.
If it's super murdery and mystery,
I know
I'm
you love it.
Yes.
Which is why I think this is going to be great.
Because
I think we bring such different preferences to it. I'm definitely... I like romancy, cheesy romancy, but I also like family drama, fictional, literary books. I don't know if that's the right way to describe them, but... And then you like darker...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I don't think you have to know why.
I mean, I like horror stories, and I like horror movies, and I'm just really into the whole scary thing.
Yeah.
But... You can't get me into a haunted house.
Really?
Oh, no.
The reality of it is...
No, I want to be scared for you.
Yeah.
I don't want to personally be scared.
See, this is why I can't read or watch scary movies. I get so scared. Even though I know that it's fake and I know it's not real, I get super, anxious and nervy. And then I'm why am I going to put myself through that?
For funsies.
Yeah, it's not fun for me. So yeah, I can't handle those. But I love that our book club, you get to pick whatever you want. So we literally draw sticks every month with people's names that haven't picked. So it's not a set rotation necessarily.
Right. But everybody gets it.
Whoever's
every year.
present gets to be a part of the drawing for that month until a whole rotation is done. And then the selected person gets to pick next month's book, which gives people some time to
And the meeting location.
Yeah, and the meeting location.
Which is also fun because then we also get to
try new places. Yeah. So yeah, I really like how our book club works.
We made it work because obviously we all like each other enough to continue trying. Because it is very difficult for all of us to get together, which is why we usually don't.
Yeah. But what I brought up, I think, at the last meeting was how cool that all of us, so we're friends.
I'm going to cough.
Okay.
Thanks.
So we started book club after all of us were friends. Which I think is so great because I don't know. I haven't been a part of any other book club, but the fact that all of us are into books.
Contrast it to. What do we compare and contrast to? I don't know. Are we good?
I think we're great. But I think it's so cool that it's a fairly large group sometimes. It, varies from month to month, but that we're all into books and we like reading.
I feel like that may have been like a strengthening factor for the friendships also.
Yeah. Which is pretty cool. And the reason I thought of that is because someone was mentioning wanting to find a book club. And I go, oh, that would be hard to just join a random group of people based on the commonality of reading. Whereas I feel like we flipped it.
Yeah.
Right? Like we were friends first and then we decided to start this. I think it's kind of cool.
Well, like, for example, my personality, I don't know that would do well. Because, like, I'm...
in life and friendships and
yeah, that too. Expand. Just in general, me getting thrown in with a new group, I don't know about all that.
Oh, I see. Like, would you feel?
Like people don't really. It takes a little bit to warm.
Yeah.
Up to me, I feel like, because I can.
It took me 14 years.
Oh. I'm just kidding. Well, hot damn.
It's getting hot in here.
That's true. It did take a while though. You're right. Yeah.
No, that was
a joke. A little bit. It does take a little bit because I can be a lot sometimes.
Which is what I love about you.
Well, but it kind of had to be gradual for you, I feel like.
Okay.
Well, right?
I don't know. I've always liked you. I don't think we ever talked very much aside from book club stuff.
And like, hey, here we are at Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I just feel like,
but I don't think it was anything. I don't think you were ever off-putting to me. Like, oh, that Carla, she's too much.
Well, I've been told that I have. Are we cussing here?
We can cuss.
I'm good.
Say it, girl.
I've been told that I have resting bitch face.
Okay.
So for me, it's like, yeah, and that kind of also translates to my personality. I have resting bitch personality.
Interesting, because I don't see it.
Oh, nice, thanks.
Well, maybe because when we're hanging out, like,
I'm in
talking about
group.
like
there's
you always seem
for me to be like.
You always seem very animated, which is why I kept telling you that you needed to do your video.
Oh yeah, so I've been told that I need to do videos by both Alex and Shook, but I'm a shy person.
I know, so we're starting this.
Yeah,
and
which is so much more anonymous. I like that. Like, you can't see me. I don't want you to know me.
So you read up recently, you asked if I visualize things when I read, which I do. And I went into like how sometimes I visualize incorrectly. Like I jumped to a vision of a character that is not really based on the description of the book. I don't know why I think of a famous person.
Okay.
Or an actor or something. And then that's the person that I'm visualizing. Even though as I keep reading, I'm like, oh, it looks nothing like him, or I don't know. So I think that's my own issue.
I have a follow-up question to that.
Yeah.
Like when you visualize that famous person, are they talking and moving, or is it just like a stick figure that stands there?
No. They're the person that's doing the thing that I'm.
So yeah, that's odd to me.
Okay. So you don't.
I do not. I literally do not. I don't know what that's like.
So I have a question for you.
Do it.
So can you visualize, like if I asked you to visualize your mom right now, can you visualize her?
I think of my mom as
Can you see her?
Blob.
Yeah, but you don't see a picture of her.
I will probably not. No, I don't.
Not. Okay, so
I'm trying really hard to I can remember a picture of her.
Yeah.
But I definitely don't. No.
So you know what that's called?
Ooh, tell me.
There's a name for it.
Yeah.
Aphantasia or I don't know how you say it, but there's a name for it. And it's like 2% of the population.
I don't feel like I'm fully that. Because I can still see like a flash of something.
Yeah. But can you visualize?
No.
Yeah.
I'm really trying hard to be part of I really
don't have to. There's nothing wrong with it.
I'm trying to like convince you that I can imagine a little bit. Like, please, no.
So when I was reading up on it, it does say that like people have variations of it, right? Like some people might be able to visualize some things, but not fully visualize. But visualization and reading, when I was looking at it today, is like a thing that they try to teach kids and stuff to like imagine a storyline. Mm-hmm. So I thought it was so interesting. There's a name for it.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that it's a big deal for me.
Well, it's not, and like it was saying on there, there's no like treatment. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just I think
boring,
it said
though. It is boring. Like once I found out, like when I was talking about this with Mike, and then when I was talking about this with you a little bit, and it's like hearing that you guys see all of this new world, like these buildings, these mountains, or whatever the heck is being described. Yeah. Like for me, exactly. Oh yeah, we haven't even touched upon that.
I know, we'll get there.
So for me to know that I don't get to see all that kind of sucks.
Like you're missing out.
But I don't know what I'm missing out on other than what you're saying, which is again, whatever to me.
Yeah,
it's just like words. Yeah, bummer sauce.
But they said that people that they've looked at, that they've studied, that have this, they've noticed like they have like different brain patterns.
I don't like that.
But it's not anything wrong.
I want to
Your brain just works differently.
I don't like that. I want my brain to work the same.
The same as everybody else.
It would be more enjoyable for me.
I didn't dig deeper, but I wonder if it's something that you like can try to...
I've tried.
Yeah.
Like whenever, like I told you, like whenever you do the meditation thing and they tell you that you have to picture yourself like in a place where you feel good and comfortable and calm, I literally cannot. I can't. So like I don't meditate because to me, I can never get past that first point.
That's interesting.
I told you what I imagine is the screensaver.
Like the rolling green hills?
Yes. I imagine that. And I feel really stupid because I'm like, is this what I'm supposed to be looking at?
Okay, so but let's talk about what you're just absorbing the words that you're reading.
Yeah. I guess the best way I can explain it is I see it like as just like a blob of information.
Yeah.
And that's it. Which is, okay, so I just thought of something really strange. You haven't.
Carla, you just went on a journey without me, about me. Bring me in.
There's this one book or story, I don't remember what it's called, by Stephen King. And in it, the guy has like a closet area or a room or an office. Follow.
Lack of visualization.
Come along with me. There's like an office and like he has like a bunch of file cabinets. And his file cabinets are like his memories. Okay. Before I even saw that, so maybe Stephen King knows about this. Okay, whatever. Let's get to the point.
I'm still with you.
The point is that even before that, like I would imagine that every person that I meet has a file folder in my head. Ooh. Not in an office, because it doesn't go into a cabinet, because I can't picture a cabinet. It's just a file folder. I would imagine that everybody that I meet gets a file folder and like the new information that I gather from that person just goes into that file folder, which is why I'm usually really good about like, oh yeah, you like this, you don't like this, you're allergic to this, file folder. Because it's in a file.
See, I don't do that.
But I don't flip through it. I just...
See, I have a terrible memory, which is, so when we were talking about discussing A Court of Thorns and Roses today, and I was saying, we can talk about it, but I don't really, like, I read and I forget. Mm-hmm. Like, it's, like, in and out, whereas I think you retain a lot more.
I tend to remember things that I don't need.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forget everything. Even memories. Like Jeff is my husband, will always tell the kids memories of him growing up or like anecdotes of stuff. I don't really have that.
Me neither.
Like, unless there's a picture of something that happened that I can reference and be like, oh, I remember being there. But unless the picture jogs my memory, I don't just kind of have...
You're just living day by day.
Yeah. I don't have a ton of reference material.
What are you going to do when you're old?
I write it all down.
Okay.
Like, I take a lot of pictures. I do photo albums every year, and I keep, like, notes of stuff that the kids say because I know I don't remember stuff.
So, yeah, that's going to be hard.
Yeah. But I figure, you know, you can remember all the details, and then I can just be like, uh-huh.
That's going to be great.
Which brings us to books.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do. So, like we were saying earlier, Alex is into a much nicer type of book, and I am into a more scary, just like messed up type of book. However, I do not like gore in movies or in books. Books not so much. I don't care about it because like I can't picture it, so it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you about the torture scene from Iron Flame.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, cool.
Because you're not picturing it.
Right. So for me, it was like, boom, she's getting messed up. That sucks for her. Sucks to suck. So for me, it's like not a big deal, but I still don't want it in my head.
Yeah.
But I do like scary stories. So I kind of did, and the reason that we came to this podcast is because we started emailing back and forth about the fact that I had a nightmare and it was messed up, man. And I didn't recognize
it. See, I don't even remember.
Oh my God. This is like our lore.
See, I have an email to go back and read through.
May have been a text. I don't know, whatever. The point is that I told you that I had a nightmare and that I was giving up horror for a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
It's coming back to me.
Celine Dion this, please. I just decided to start reading a book that you guys had said was good.
Yes.
And it ended up being A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Yes. Yeah. ACOTAR.
That. And I had read it for book club, but I hated it.
Yes.
I really hated it.
I was not a huge fan of the first book. I should give a huge disclaimer. I think I have very low standards when it comes to books.
Oh, and you still hated it.
No, I liked it. I didn't think it was great.
You didn't see the
but I don't
reason
mind
for the craziness that is apparently out there?
Well, I mean, it's fantasy, so I guess I take it for that. But I also just enjoy a book for the fact of immersing myself in a world that I can visualize. Sorry. So, like, to me, I do care about quality of writing is important to me, but I just read a book to enjoy it. I don't know. I don't pick it apart.
Okay, that was one of the reasons
which some people on book club do.
Yeah, I felt like I did not have the whimsy necessary for this series.
Yeah.
Because I am not nice to authors.
See, I can suspend reality. I can unless it's really bad, I don't really care about like plot holes.
Oh.
See, like
plot holes bother me. It's like, can we please discuss?
I know. I can look over a lot of stuff.
No. Yeah. Plot holes bother the crap out of me. Like, do you remember The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo?
Yes.
Please, ma'am, please.
It's not a favorite book of mine either.
We remember when we were in school and like we would do the circle in the middle with like
Venn diagram.
Yeah, no. The one that had the little like offshoot circles. It was a big circle in the middle, and then it had little circles around it.
I'd imagine brainstorming. But now, because I've worked at an intermediate school, they have thinking maps, and it's all of the different ways for kids to visualize information. But they'll have
this is like little, like bubbles. You just stab me throughout the podcast.
Imagine you in school now, though. That would be hard if they like...
I would be like so mad. I'd be like...
Or I wonder if it would be better.
Because I would have to
maybe if they had this stuff when we were in school, it would have like trained you to.
But I had to do the circles.
Yeah. Anyhow.
Okay, what?
Why were we talking about circles?
Oh, because the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, she didn't circle it out. There were just too many plot holes, and it bothered the bejesus out of me. To the point that I was still talking about it, like, way after people were, like, done with it. And I was like, but what about this? How do you explain this? And it's like, shut up.
See, I can see past a lot of stuff. So that's why for ACOTAR, I'm like, oh, it's like an enjoyable, different world for me to dive into.
I wanted to start talking to you about freaking Christianity within this world.
Yeah.
Like, that was... And then I wrote that email and I was like, I need to relax, man.
No.
But then I realized I cannot. So, why even? So, with ACOTAR.
Yeah.
The first one.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, that's what that
means.
What it is. I don't remember a huge amount of it except for the fact that I really disliked the main character's family.
Yes.
I had a really big aversion to bestiality.
Yeah.
Like, and I even asked at the beginning, before I read this, I was like, are you guys gonna make me fucking read bestiality? And everybody was like, no.
No, I don't think we would have denied it. Did we deny it?
I was totally told that there was no bestiality. And
in this specific series.
At the beginning. Wait, maybe? Yeah, no, I remember. Oh, wait. It was at the meeting because I had not read the book. And I was like, before I do this, am I going to read this? Because I do not want to. And I was told, And then there was a claw. And I was like, no.
Oh, we really let you down there.
And then there's bats. Wait, there's
bats.
Wings now.
They're bats. They're bat boys.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what they're called. Yeah.
That's what they're called?
Well, not in the book necessarily, but in like the fandom of it, there's like stickers and stuff for the bat boys.
That grosses me out, yo. I can't. Like,
do it. Yeah, see, that doesn't bother me.
You strip all the bullshit away of like the Ys and the Y4s. It's like, no. Please put your claw back in.
Okay, but overall, have you enjoyed it?
It's been fine.
Or are you like feeling like you're in too deep and you just have to finish it, but you're not enjoying
100%, it? Because I can't not know how it ends.
Are you on book 3?
I'm on book 3.
Okay.
Which is War and Ruin.
Yeah.
The Court of War and Ruin.
I think you might enjoy book 5. You got to get to it.
Okay.
I mean, I feel like we keep saying this with every book. The next book will be better.
Well, I was lied to.
Yeah, I know. So I'm saying, well, maybe I shouldn't say that.
I feel betrayal and
anger. Yeah.
I feel like there was treachery afoot.
It's also a big investment of time if you're not loving it, because they're really big. Book 4 is small.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But the other ones are really big. I don't know. Maybe like you shouldn't read it if you don't want to read it. But I'm becoming a huge advocate for like DNF. Do not finish if you don't like it.
I used to not do that. I used to like start a book and like, I don't care how you feel about this. You said you were going to read this book, I would say to myself, and I was miserable about it.
Yeah.
I have stopped reading a few books.
Yeah.
But once you start like getting to know the characters, like and you know a storyline, I kind of feel like you're screwed.
I've had both scenarios, I guess. So I've had books where I'm hooked and I'm feeling like I'm really only finishing it because I want to know what happens. Mm-hmm. But I guess in that sense, at least it was good enough to hook me on the storyline. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But then there have been books where I'm like, I'm just not enjoying it and I don't want to waste my time. I think I also have so many other books like on my list of books to read that now I'm like, I don't really want to waste my time on something if I'm not loving it.
Maybe if I had a list of books that I want to get to, it would be easier for me to just be like cutting books away, just like not even caring. I don't care whose feelings I hurt. I'm going to stop reading you.
So how do you pick your books?
So sometimes I'll read. Okay, so there was a period of time where I was like, a period of time? It was one article. There was an article that I was reading.
Between
10 and 11 a.m., I was reading this one article. It was a period of time. Short as it may be. So I read this one article where it was like about women writers from Latin America. Mm-hmm. And it actually made me pick to read 2 different books, which one of them was like whatever. And it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But it was more like gothic horror.
Okay.
And I'm not into that
was it much. That Mexicana? Mexicana? No?
Who?
I don't know. I'll have to look up the title, but there's
Mexican
a book.
Gothic.
Mexican Gothic.
It was a good book.
Yeah. Was it that one?
It was.
Oh, okay.
It was a good book, but it's not my... It's not my cup of tea. And then I read another book from that article, and that book fucked me up.
What was it?
I've talked about it. I've told you guys about it.
I've already told you I don't remember anything.
Oh my God, it's true. And it cuts me deep.
I'm sorry, but this is who I am.
It's Tender as the Flesh.
Okay.
And I still think about that book sometimes. Mm-hmm. Because it was so messed up.
Yeah.
It was short. Really easy to get through. In terms of shortness.
Yeah.
Really hard to get through in terms of like, wow, this blows. It was a really messed up book. I loved it.
You know what book and I mentioned this before, is I think it was your pick, The Girl with All the Gifts. Yeah, the ending of that book still haunts me.
I'm going to be honest.
You don't remember?
I don't remember. Yes. No.
Okay, so spoiler for that one. So like zombie girl, right? Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And at the end, she ends up spraying like
that's
the
true.
Pollen to convert,
cordyceps.
like to make everyone a zombie.
Oh.
So when I see like pollen or flowers or stuff, you know, around me, I go, oh my God, this is it. This is the beginning of the zombie apocalypse.
So spring is a really difficult time for you.
It is. But that whole scene, like, of her saying, like, it's time for us to take over now, and, like, your species is dead. And I'm like, oh.
Dang.
Yeah.
Ooh. That
stuck
sounds
with me.
Like I would have liked it. So that's why I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good. I might
So circling back to how you pick books.
Oh, shoot. I Googled.
So just, like, whenever you finish a book, you search for the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of boring, but yeah.
No, I mean, if it works for you.
It has in the past. And I tend to reread certain books, like the Dark Tower series.
Yeah.
I reread that a lot.
Really?
Yeah, it's lame. I'm
See,
obsessed.
I'm not a rereader.
Oof.
I've wanted to reread The Dark Tower just because it's been so long. I read that when Jeff and I first got together, which was 2006-ish. Mm-hmm. It's been a long time. And I wanted to reread it because I know that I loved it, and I don't remember anything about it.
I almost was like, no, that wasn't the year, because... Because, like,
it was. 2006. Yeah, Jeff and I got together in 2006.
When did I meet you?
After that, because I met Sarah in 2006. I met you through Sarah.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like you're right.
Post 2000.
You're right about your own history with your husband, yes.
Jeff and I got married in 2009. And I don't know that we were friends yet.
I don't think so. I think that
so it was post that.
Maybe like, I think we were on the cusp of meeting each other.
Yeah, I think so.
Like maybe Sarah was like realizing that, yeah, I should be friends with her.
Yeah.
What? Oh, yeah, The Dark Tower.
The Dark Tower. So I want to reread that. But I'm not a rereader. I think, again, because I have so many books that I want to read, I have a fear of missing out on, like, reading a good book.
I think that's why I'm going to sleep at midnight, which is a problem.
Yeah.
Because, like, I need to go back to not
going to
doing
sleep.
That. Yeah. I need to sleep.
Sleep is important, but I do love reading.
Yeah. It's difficult. Like, and especially since I'm, like, audio booking some of these.
Yeah.
It's just so much easier to not sleep, which...
See, I feel like I would fall asleep if I were on audio.
Yeah, I have done that, which is a bummer in the morning when you try to figure out what to go back to. Off. Yeah. So I reread the Dark Tower series.
Like regularly, do you have like a...
I have read it like 4 times, I feel like, now.
Just like when you feel like reading it again, or is it like...
Yeah.
Like a seasonal?
No, when I feel like it.
Okay.
Like, there are times where I'm like, yeah, it's time.
Yeah.
The time is upon us. So, and then I do it.
And it holds up every time.
100%.
Yeah.
Holy crap,
I gotta read it.
Not only that, but like number 3 for me sucked when I first read it. Mm-hmm. Number 3 is not so bad once you've gone through the series and you know like the important parts and why certain things have meaning.
Okay, I want to reread them and then I want to talk about them with you because I remember the ending.
Oh man, the ending, yo.
And then I was like, what? What happened? But I don't remember, obviously, because it's me.
Tell me when you're going to start, and I'll reread them along with you.
Okay.
I have stopped. I used to reread Gone with the Wind.
Oh.
Yeah, really weird for me.
Yeah. I would not peg you for a Gone with the Wind.
Me neither, because God knows I'm a cynic.
Frankly, my dear.
You know, it's not even Rhett Butler. It's Scarlett O'Hara's, like, outlook on life is really interesting to me.
Oh.
Yeah. Really, really just an interesting character, I feel like. That I'm not going to say people don't talk about it because it's very heavily talked about. Carla doesn't read about it. But yeah, I really like that book. And then I reread Chronicle of a Death Foretold, as you know, because I made you guys read it.
Yeah.
I reread The Year of Magical Thinking.
I haven't read that one.
Joan Didion.
Oh.
It's so good.
Yeah.
And I reread it.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You have a lot of rereads.
I love those books.
Do you have them, like, physical books?
I used to have, like, an old edition of Gone with the Wind.
Yeah.
But then I used it as a doorstop.
Aww.
And I ruined it.
Which... makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
When you use a book as a doorstop.
Yeah. So I ruined that, but it was like a really old edition. And I'm really like not proud of myself of that. But I did that. And then...
Do you still have it?
No, I threw it out.
Oh.
Yeah. That's another thing about me. I like to throw things out. So...
A minimalist.
No, because I have a lot of junk.
Yeah.
It's just that, like, once it pisses me off it goes.
But you don't want to, like, be reminded constantly that you ruined your book?
No, it's not that. Like, I feel no guilt about it.
Yeah.
It's just, you no longer look good to me. So goodbye.
Yeah.
You are ugly. So goodbye.
Hopefully it wasn't, like, a valuable addition.
If it was...
You don't know.
I ruined it. If it was, I took care of that real quick. So, I have The Gunslinger on paperback because Sarah gave it to me.
Yeah.
And
she read all of them too, right?
Yeah, she's the reason that I started reading that series. I was really mad at her about it because I hated the first book.
Yeah.
But I was wrong.
Yeah.
I was incorrect. The other ones, I have a physical copy of Chronicle of a Death Foretold. And the other stuff is digital.
Kindle? Yeah. Yeah, I don't have any rereads. Mm. I did recently buy, this is of all the things that I would buy to reread, Assistant to the Villain.
I've never read that.
It's like a little cheesy little romance-y book.
That you liked enough.
I did.
To reread it.
Well, I haven't reread it, but I bought it because I want to reread it. And I'm questioning why, of all the books that I've read... Was that me? Did I spit on your face?
No, I had a little thing, like, flutter at me.
Oh.
It felt like a feather, but there's no birds in here.
It could be like a what do you call them?
It felt like a down gnat. Comforter feather.
You can call it that. So I think you might like Assistant to the Villain. I don't know that it's dark enough for you, but it's based on...
You don't know me.
It's like Renaissance-y era.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I've lost you already. And she becomes the assistant to this villain. So there's like beheadings and torture is talked about openly. Like he's got like heads hanging in the dining room of his castle.
That's unappetizing.
Yeah.
And smelly.
Probably.
Why?
I know.
Like, can you imagine walking through the halls? Gross. Like, gross.
There's a scene where she talks about stepping on an eyeball.
That's not cute. How do you like this?
Because it's, I feel like it's put on like in a dangerous. It's put like in a silly form. It's not like a seriously dark book. It's kind of, yeah, it's like a comical horror. Is that a thing? It's not horror, but
I think it is. I think it sounds comical horror, comical gore.
Comical gore, maybe?
Oh, you're sick.
I'm supposed to be the cute romance.
You're supposed to be the honey to my vinegar. Yeah, the author made that choice.
I know.
Like, make a better one, friend.
So, romance books it's a fine line for me. Because some of them can be really cheesy, and I can't read the ones that have, like, super cheesy covers.
Okay, you're gonna have to help me.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
Some romance books just have really cheesy covers, like, I don't know, the caricatures of the characters. Fabio? Yeah. Yeah, I won't read a Fabio book, so I definitely don't like Regency romance, I think is what they're called.
Oh, okay.
I don't do those. Okay, so we were talking.
I don't know.
I lost ourselves.
Oh, Regency.
Regency romance and why I picked some over. Oh, judging a book by its cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Gotta. It's literally part of the book.
Yeah. So I request advanced reader copies through a couple different sites.
Oh, that seems like.
Too intense.
That seems very intense.
I love it. I get to read books before they're out.
Oh.
But on one of the sites where I get them, they'll ask you like why you wanted to read a book, and one of the options is like based on the cover. Oh my God, I think that's a very good question to ask because that definitely determines whether I want to read something or not. We haven't really talked about ACOTAR very much, which I think is fine.
Oh, okay. So, right. So I didn't like her family.
Yes.
The two sisters sucked.
Yeah.
The dad was just like, oh.
You know what I wonder about that is,
tell me,
why did the author write them that way?
I think it was necessary for us to empathize a lot
with Farah.
How do you say her name?
I say Farah. I don't know if that's right.
I feel like there's a
there is a Y.
There is a Y, but
yeah, I thought it was silent. Maybe it's not. Farah.
That's difficult though.
Farah.
At one point in our emails, I called her Firecracker.
So one complaint that I see from people on Instagram that are big into like fantasy books is why the main female character always has to be this like start off as like this super weak female who all of a sudden becomes super badass. Important and a badass.
Well, that was one of my gripes.
Yeah.
That like how is it that she's doing so well?
Yeah.
With all of these new powers.
Yeah.
And I was annoyed. But then I was like, the bone carver dude. Oh, totally spoilers and totally going between all three books.
Yes.
Sorry.
There's no rules here.
No. What was that?
It doesn't matter.
So, the bone carver dude says that there's, and I told you, I was like, is this the reason that like all three sisters like are like doing googly eyes with dudes that should not matter to them had they continued being human?
Yeah.
I mean, can we talk about that?
Let's talk about it.
He said that there was like an important fairy's bloodline running through some sort of human family. And I'm thinking it has to be either this family or the queen's family who becomes a bird. Because she's a different kind of bird.
Yeah.
It seems so silly to say that out loud. Like that
does.
Should not be a sentence.
Well, I mean, because,
Sorry. You decided to listen to this, so you're reading about queen birds too. I don't know what to tell you about your choices. What are our choices that we're like talking into a microphone about?
I love it.
Okay.
I love the choices that have led us here.
Maybe this should be video because nobody saw that.
Nobody saw those amazing dance moves. They were pretty great.
Yeah. Right. So, what was the point of that?
Well, I was asking, why did the character make her family so unlikable? Because everyone, like, I mean this is going to sound stupid because a lot of it is unrealistic, but, like, the fact that her sisters were so messed up seems unrealistic.
You hear, like, human people, like, day to day.
Yeah.
And there are some really crappy people here. So it makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
And they were all going through
their own shit.
A really messed up depression.
Yeah.
They had lost their mean mom, which a loss of someone mean can also suck.
Yeah.
Because you're used to their meanness. You're used to the abuse.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess. I don't know. I'm thankful I can't relate.
I'm sure that if you're used to goodness, you have to be used to badness too.
Yes.
Gotta be.
Yeah.
So they lost the mom, and then they lost their money.
Yeah.
Which seems to have been, like, super, super bad because the dad got his knees messed up over it.
Yeah, that was not pretty.
I mean, most people just lose their money and then they're, like, broke. But this dude got beat up. Like, by the mafia people or something. I don't know. He was this close to sleeping with
they were, like, mafia people.
Loan sharks, right?
Yeah.
They were loan sharks. So, they all reacted to it in a very negative way, like, of just, like, laying down and basically dying.
Yeah.
She's the only one that actually has, like, a backbone in this family.
Yeah.
Maybe?
Which maybe that's what made her so strong.
Oh my god, she's so great. Oh my
and she's such a great artist.
Oh my god. I got... Okay, there was one period of time when I was, like, at work and I was, like, and, like, my brain was just, like, because I was doing billing and I was, like, I am going to die. Because billing is, like, the worst thing in my work life. And I started, like, thinking, does Feyre actually paint well? Or is she just, like, doing those flowers that I draw?
She can't write. She can't read.
Okay.
Right? I don't think
it's a trade-off.
No, but
I thought you were like, so she's got to draw.
I'm just saying, I don't know that... Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's not a correlation at all. But I'm like, I don't know that her art skills would be that great.
I mean, are we being told that she's Vincent Van Goghing?
I believe so.
Ma'am. So, when she goes back to the spring court...
Yeah.
She's, like, painting, and she's just doing these, like, magnificent pieces. And, like, everything she sees, she visualizes what she would paint, and she names
Visualize.
it. No, you have, oh my god. I rolled so much. They, like, fell off. They rolled, and then they tethered them back into my head.
Yeah.
Stop
I don't get the art storyline. You know, like, why it's in there?
Because they have to give her depth. She can't just be...
a woman.
She can't just be... I mean, there has to be something that makes her, like... I'm going to stop.
Yeah, I never understood why that was
I go through
a thing.
I go through a long period of time where I don't like Feyre.
Yeah.
I just feel like she's, like, so overdone.
Yeah.
And then whenever she becomes, like, this, like, badass and she actually does something with, like, gumption, I'm like, yeah. And then she goes back to being like, and this is what I would draw. And it's like, shut up. Just go draw it. Shut up.
What do you think about Rysand? How do you say it?
I used to say Reese's Pieces.
I love it.
Because it's like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
So he used to be Reese's Pieces.
I love it.
And then Rysand. Because I heard someone else say it. I think someone at the book club
I think there's a lot of, like, if you looked online, I think there's a lot of explanations on the pronunciation. Which I've never listened to.
Explanations on
like
it?
how to say them all.
doesn't the author, like, can she just jump in and just tell us?
Yeah. So, like, what do you say, Reese?
I say Reese. Reese-and. I called him Riri at one point in our emails.
I do like him.
He's fine.
Yeah.
I've told you that I am not a fan of his flirtation style.
You made a funny face, just so people
know. I
sure
did. His flirtation style is not my jam.
Yeah.
They're fine. But it's it's fine, period. It's okay, period.
Enough.
It's fine. But it's not cute to me.
Yeah.
They're too cute, which makes them not cute.
I can follow that.
Look, can we just read the emails?
I was going to suggest that because your emails are pretty great. Chuck and Tim are signing off.
Back to you at the station. All right.
See, we'll have to read that email in so that it makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
It all ties back together.
We promise it'll... No, I can't promise it'll make sense. It might not make sense.
It might not because I tend to write really weird.
But I think if people enjoy books, maybe they'll enjoy us. Until next time, happy reading.
Yes, back to you at the station.